Clix and Peterbot have been rivals in the Fortnite scene for a long time, going off against each other plenty of times.
This kid, bro, just got the luck. That's my bad.
Clix! No!
The question of whether Clix and Peterbot's trio is better has been a major debate for the last couple seasons. And before we actually get into who's better, we need to get a couple things out of the way. In Peterbot's team, Peterbot has 5 FNCS wins, with Cold having 3 and Ritual having 1. While Clix's team has 0 wins across the board. However, Clix and Yamzo both have each gotten a second place 1 time, with Higgs getting a second place twice in FNCS. Now, past FNCS performances don't necessarily determine how good these players are currently, however, it does give us a pretty good idea. I've had my fair share of fighting these players over the years, and let's just say, it does not go well. In the most recent trio finals, Clix and Peterbot's team landed on each other and fought off spawn. So who really is better after all this happened? In game 1, Peterbot has the better job and is able to win the 50-50 by landing first. From there, he knocks Yamzo out of the sky, where he's able to land on the body and get the finish. Higgs and Clix get some loot and try to box fight Peter's team later on, but they're unable to do any real damage. Ritual and Cold use this season's infinite ammo to waste their mats, forcing them to take the air vent, where Higgs is knocked and eliminated, but Clix is able to get away. Clix tries to play Storm for a while, but eventually Peterbot's team finds him and they're able to take him out. In game 2, the two teams land on top of each other, with Higgs quickly killing Peterbot. Ritual unfortunately gets headshot sniped, leaving Cold to try clutching as a solo. Higgs makes a dumb push where Cold is able to take him out. From there, Yamzo and Clix actually back off and play it safe, making sure to get heals and mats before pushing him again. Cold knows that they have better loot, so he tries to fight them when they are still somewhat weak, and unfortunately he is taken out. In games 1 and 2, the two teams landed and fought directly off spawn, with Clix's team landing on these 3 spots and Peterbot's team landing on these 3. This caused the fights to be rather quick, however this would not be the trend going forward. In the third game, both teams opt to land away from each other so they can both loot up and get materials before fighting. Once they started fighting, Clix's team had 2 jetpacks, which they used to get high ground over Peterbot's team. After doing this, they sat above them and sprayed all their materials out, eventually forcing Ritual to make a play where he goes down to Yamzo. From there, Clix is able to get a quick kill on a Cold, and Higgs is able to finish off Peterbot. In the start of game 4, Higgs lands and gets a chest, but is eliminated early by Ritual. Clix and Yamzo get a decent amount of loot, and while Peterbot tries to fight Yamzo, he gets eliminated by Clix. The fight is now a 2v2 with Clix and Yamzo on the hill above Ritual and Cold. Ritual and Cold try to go up, but Yamzo pressures them while they are doing so. Cold doesn't realize Yamzo took one of his walls and gets one pumped, and Ritual quickly goes down to Clix shortly after. Now, throughout these 6 games, Clix's team abuses the Mandalorian jetpack that was added into the game only a couple days before this tournament happened. This jetpack has about 11 seconds of flight time and can bring you about 25 tiles into the air if you go straight up. You can also use this jetpack to fly side by side and hover in mid-air. Now in the 5th game, both teams continue to land away from each other and build up loot before actually fighting. Both of these teams were playing solely to win against the other team rather than winning the actual tournament. They both end up sitting in the POI long enough that the storm eventually comes in and Clix's team is forced to fight. After healing, Peterbot's team goes up and Cold is able to take down Yomzo. Cold then follows that up by knocking and eliminating Higgs. Peterbot is then able to finish Clix off using the jetpack and mythic blaster. The reason Peterbot won off spawn in this game is because his team saved up multiple white heals at the bottom of the POI, meaning they can stay in storm as long as possible. In the 6th and final game, both teams loot up as much as possible and play specifically to grief the other team. Clix's team builds a brick base on the hill and waits multiple minutes in the storm until Peterbot's team is forced to fight. Peterbot's team is eventually forced to go up, and from there, Yomzo and Ritual trade knocks onto each other. Higgs is able to protect Yomzo and grabs the jetpack that he dropped and uses it to get a knock onto Cold. From there, Peterbot is basically out of white HP and goes down trying to just jump in on Higgs. The final score ended up being 4-2, with Clix winning 4 times and Peterbot winning twice. Clix's team ended the tournament in 9th place, getting them $300 each, with Peterbot getting 21st, getting them $150 each. The main reason this tournament ended like this is because Peterbot's team this season, for the most part, has not been playing the game, with them even taking weeks off at a time. While Peterbot's team was taking multiple breaks, Clix's team was grinding as hard as they could to learn the meta and drop spot. Since Clix had already played with the jetpacks and guns, he was able to beat Peterbot 4-2. If both these teams continue to follow this trend, then I believe that Clix's team will come out on top and have a much better chance at winning the next FNCS over Peterbot. However, Peterbot and Cold are still undoubtedly GOATs of Fortnite and can easily win FNCS if they just decide to start grinding again. If you like this video and you want to see how Peterbot wins every fight in solo cash cups, click this video on screen. Okay, that's all. Bye.